Hi, my name is John Zimmerman. I'm a Senior Product Manager with Sage Payment Solutions. I'm here to do a pre-release overview of Sage Exchange. Sage Exchange is an online payment management system designed to simplify the way businesses manage their payment processes. Flexible payment options. Sage Exchange makes it easy for businesses to offer their customers more types of payments in more places. Providing more payment options to customers helps improve loyalty and strengthen credibility. Being able to sell in more places provides access to a wider customer base, improving sales. Flexibility means supporting all methods of payment. Allow your customers to pay the way they want. Strengthen credibility and loyalty with them by owning the moment when they're ready to buy. Go beyond basic merchant services, taking and making payments efficiently. Sell in all places customers want to buy. Go where they are. Access a wider customer base. Accept payments whenever, wherever customers are ready to buy. Whether it's online, brick and mortar, virtual terminal, and mobile, take Sage Exchange with you. Easily add payments when you're ready. As your business grows, add more payment options to accommodate new products and channels. Activate a new form of payment with a single click in Sage Exchange. Support the growth of your business using Sage Exchange. All in one place. Sage Exchange allows businesses to manage their entire world of payments all in one place. With a single sign-on, our customers benefit from easier access to and management of payment-related tasks. Plus, they can see cash flow add up as it happens across all payment types and places. That means centralized payment management and control. One control of access for all payment methods and places. Keep all payment methods and transactions organized and have full control over who sees which payments. Single sign-on. Save time and hassle. Give your people what they really want. One password to remember for all payments. Born in the cloud. Sage Exchange was born in the cloud. Access all payments and transactions anytime, anywhere from a single location. Bring it with you. Work from here. Sage Exchange lets you take your business and payments with you. Consolidated reporting, payments dashboard, and mobile access. See payments as they add up. Access reports that show payments regardless of how and where they were taken. Understand buyer behavior across multiple selling channels with consolidated reporting. Ready for business. One of the key competitive advantages for Sage Exchange is it's a true business solution. A company can start accepting multiple types of payments across multiple locations in just minutes. In addition, many customers can set Sage Exchange to automatically send payments to their accounting or ERP solution, saving added time. By auto-syncing payments with an accounting or ERP system, payments feed automatically into the system with no manual entry. It's a simple drag and drop interface to set up. You can also take payments directly within your ERP system. There's no IT involvement required to configure it. The user interface is uncluttered. See all payments related things just with a single glance. It's easy to learn and use, and everything you need is in one simple place. The fee structure is very simple. We offer competitive rates and simple pricing. You get a rapid return on your investment. Security is important to us. PCI compliance, bank grade security. Fraud protection with security and PCI compliance protects customer data. Business level support is also important. Sage provides a complete range of support services to keep payments running smoothly. Simplify your payment management. Flexible payment options, all in one place, ready for business. Sage Exchange. Welcome to Sage Exchange. I'm now about to walk through Sage Exchange using high-quality mockups. Please note that some of the features and functionality are only conceptual in nature and may not be available in the final version. This is the login screen. It's very simple and clean. Single sign-on, as I mentioned. Only one username and password is required to access all the features and functionalities of Sage Exchange. If you've forgotten your password, it's easy to retrieve it. The user can enter their information and their security question and retrieve it. If they make a mistake, the error correction and validation is very simple and easy to understand. Once in Sage Exchange, the user is going to experience what we call the dashboard. On the dashboard for a first-time user, users will see "Welcome to the new Sage Exchange." This area features how-to guides on how to use features and functionalities within Sage Exchange. When the user clicks on one of the user guides, a screen will pop up on top of Sage Exchange dashboard and present a screen movie of how to complete the action within Sage Exchange. The dashboard offers a quick way to see all things payments at a glance. You'll notice that there's a receivables total and a payables total. These represent inflows and outflows for payment types. You've got a subheading called credit cards, and under that are multiple different payment types that are related to credit card payments. Below that is the ACH, which obviously relates to anything that's related to a virtual check or ACH or EFT type payment. And likewise on the payables total are all outflows going out of the payment types that are outflowing and represent each of the different types of products or accounts that can be represented as a payable, outgoing payable. On the left side of the screen, you'll notice that there are quick links. These are navigational aids to use single sign-on to access tools and applications within Sage Exchange. You can also see that by selecting the method in which you'd like to view your data, you can choose from today, month to date, or year to date and change how information is displayed on your dashboard. In addition, if you're interested in additional products that you don't have active, simply click on the green question mark and down below will pop a small informational paragraph explaining the product. If you choose not to want to see that again, just simply click on Don't Show and it'll go away. By clicking on the quick link off to the left, for instance, for the virtual terminal, you can see we support multiple merchant accounts, and when clicking on it, we will then ask you which merchant account you would like to log into with your virtual terminal. It's very simple. You click on the quick link, up pops a window, select the merchant account you would like, and click Launch. You go directly into the virtual terminal. It overlays in either a new window or a new tab on top of Sage Exchange. There was no additional sign-on required. And away you go. The virtual terminal becomes active. When you open up the settings panel for the quick links, you can adjust how quick links are presented. You can change their position within the list. You can determine whether or not they're shown or hidden within the list. You can also set some of them to be auto launch. What this means is that when you log into Sage Exchange, immediately upon login, a quick link will also launch right on top of your dashboard. For example, if I want to auto-launch the virtual terminal and I click on the auto-launch box, I will then be asked if I have multiple accounts, which account I want to auto-launch, and then tell it to save. The next time I launch into Sage Exchange, log into it, I will actually launch my virtual terminal for that account when I log in. Very simple, very easy, makes it quick and easy to access additional payment resources within Sage Exchange. Notifications. Within Sage Exchange, we offer a couple different kinds of alerts. One is an important notification, and this is how Sage Payment Solutions can communicate with you on a regular basis about important payment-related information. By clicking on the Open Alerts box or button, we take you to the My Profile Alerts window. And here you can see all of your alerts for the last 60 days. Clicking on the tab to the left called My Profile, the profile opens up for the user. Here the user can edit their profile or change their security question and answer. This can access also by clicking on the user's name in the upper right-hand corner of the Sage Exchange user interface. Clicking on the Help link in the upper right-hand corner opens the Help window. Multiple sources of help are available through Sage Exchange. Whether it's calling us directly, accessing a knowledge base article in the self-service portal, participating in community forums, or accessing additional how-to guides are all available from this screen. Clicking to the right onto the Submit a A help desk request can be submitted directly through Sage Exchange. Complete the form and hit submit. Users are placed into our regular support queue just as if they had contacted us on the phone. Connections. Users who have not signed up for Connections, they'll see this screen, providing some information about what Connections is and how to go about purchasing it. First-time users to Sage Exchange Connections tab will see the Get Ready to Connect screen. This provides a step 1, 2, and 3 view of how to build a connection within Sage Exchange. The next step is essentially to add a component. By clicking on the Component button, I'm presented with a Add Connections component screen. There are 2 different ways in which connections are made components are added to Sage Exchange, and they're done by a method of pairing. Most of your components are actually auto-registered and they show up automatically in Sage Exchange. Some of them are going to require the entry of a manual access code. Examples of those would be Sage Exchange desktop software or the Sage Mobile Payments interface on a mobile device. The next step is essentially to complete the pairing process. An access code is generated within Sage Exchange. It then needs to be entered into the software of either Sage Exchange Desktop or the Mobile Payments interface on the mobile device. Once completed, a success screen will be presented and the user moves on to the next screen. And this is where the user has the option of setting an alias or a name for that device. The default name will be the access code, but the user can change that to anything that makes sense, such as Bob's mobile phone. And then click on Finish. You'll now see that the component is represented in the Components panel on the top. Each of these components represent different devices that are potentially connectable to a Sage ERP or Sage accounting software product. On the middle panel, you see what's called the Connections map. Each of the different accounting products that are available for connecting to are represented here. Click on the icon to change the map to represent that particular software connection. Creating a connection is very simple. Simply drag the icon out of the Components panel to an open target on the Connections map. This will initiate a map connection window where the connection is then determined. Select a connection type, and in this case, between a POS terminal and the Sage 50 software, a cash sale is a typical type of a connection, so you would select cash sale. Click Next. Now determine which accounts within the Sage 50 software you want to post this type of transaction to. And click on Done. Or Save. It's as simple as that. Now the connection has been built between Sage 50 and the point of sale terminal. You're ready to start posting transactions directly from the point of sale terminal directly into Sage 50. Reports. With multiple payment types and multiple payment places, it's important to be able to have great reporting. We offer the ability to determine whether you want today's reports, the past 7 days, the past 30 days, and of course select the payment type and the account that you want information to be provided for. Or perhaps you want it for all of them. And then to simply export that data out of Sage Exchange to a readable format such as PDF, Excel, or CSV. You'll also notice that we have reports related to their batches. Merchant statements can be found within Sage Exchange under the reporting, as well as additional reports. An additional feature of reports is the ability to search on a specific transaction. Set your parameters you'd like to search for, click on Search, and the results appear in the table below. Products. Sage Exchange now offers the ability to self-fulfill specific products and add them to your merchant account with the simple click of a mouse. Within the first release of Sage Exchange, we'll offer the ability to add Sage Mobile Payments, Sage Virtual Check, Sage Check 21, Sage International Payments, and Sage Business Prepaid Card. You'll notice on this screen, you can actually collapse the Quick Links panel to minimize the area it takes, and thereby expanding the content within the main body of the site. If I scroll down the page, you'll notice that there are additional promotional and offers, which are important or valuable to our merchants. Scrolling even further, you'll see that there's even more content for our merchants to consume on a regular basis, and great offers and promotions that they may want to take advantage of. Clicking on one of the products may take you to a product family page where we nest specific products related to a certain group, such as check processing. If I click on one of these icons in the middle of the navigational bar, I'll be taken to a product page. Here's an example of a product page. It's a page full of information about a specific product with additional information about how to use, see some examples, hear from customers, and understand what the offer is for this product. When you're ready to make a purchase, simply click on Get Started. The user is now navigated to the activation completion screens. The business name, the merchant account, and username is all pre-populated based upon the user login. Complete the title, phone number, and email address so that we have additional ways of contacting the merchant should there be any questions. Clicking on Next, we'll move to step 2. Here the terms and conditions are accepted, and the user clicks on Accept. In step 3, the user is going to receive a confirming email. Within the email is a link that needs to be clicked on to confirm the activation. Once clicked, the activation will begin and product should be delivered within the next 24 to 48 business hours. Administration. The Administration tab provides an area to manage users, roles, the permissions associated with those roles, as well as access important information regarding their merchant account. Clicking on the Edit link will open up a Edit Users panel. Here, usernames, email addresses, and passwords can be updated. If a user is logged in 3 times, their account will be locked and will need to be unlocked by an administrator. Likewise, if a user is going to be inactive for a period of time, such as a seasonal worker, but you still want to keep them with Sage Exchange but not give them access, simply click on Inactivate. Save the settings and your username and profile will be updated. Also within the user section is the ability to assign the rights and privileges that were previously found under user management within the virtual terminal. The Administration tab also allows a place to manage roles. Here you can see a list of roles that are available. By clicking on Add a new role, I can start with an existing role if I choose, or add a new role itself by putting in a name, and then clicking through the different checkboxes by scrolling down and adding different rights and privileges that I want to associate with a given role. The Merchant Account tab under Administration reveals additional information about a merchant account, such as the merchant ID number, any V numbers associated with any hardware or terminals, as well as the ability to set a merchant alias. This allows a name to be associated with a merchant account ID, making it much easier to understand what account is being referenced. If you notice on the dashboard, we referenced a couple of different accounts, Ashburn Store and Sterling Store. That was accomplished by setting an alias for those specific accounts in this screen. The virtual terminal. One of the quick links I mentioned earlier was the virtual terminal. The virtual terminal is accessed by clicking on a quick link, and a window is populated on the dashboard. The virtual terminal has a new user interface. It's clean, simple, single page with fewer tabs or menus to navigate. This is the Quick Sell interface. By using these settings, you can also change these settings to present the swipe card interface as the default first screen in the virtual terminal. You'll notice that the error validation is clear and more succinct as to what needs to be corrected. Very, very intuitive and simple to understand. The credit card interface is now a single-page interface. Note the new graphics for a credit card, so it's very clear to understand where the credit card information should be populated. Below that is the Bill to, Ship to, and Note Memo fields. By clicking on those tabs, you can access the input fields accordingly. Clicking on the Swipe Card button activates the keyboard-based swiper. Looking at the additional fields within the credit card, you have the Ship to and the Note Memo fields to add additional data for the transaction. Clicking on Process Transaction submits the transaction and the credit card response window is presented. If you've added Sage Virtual Check to your merchant account, you will have access to Virtual Check in the virtual terminal. Notice the new graphics that identify where on the check to find the specific information required. You also have access to the same fields, the Bill to, Ship to, and Note Memo fields, as the credit card interface on the bottom. In addition, you have the ability to search for transactions within Sage Virtual Terminal. Click the search link at the top of the page and the search window populates. Enter your criteria and the results are populated in the table below. Note you can still export this data to common formats such as CSV, Excel, and PDF. Under the Import tab, you still have the ability to import XML and CSV based data for importing data from external systems. Clicking on the Settings link in the upper right-hand corner, users have access to Virtual Terminal settings. Here users define email notifications, risk controls, account settings, set IP restrictions, configure receipts, and define default languages when logging into Sage Exchange Virtual Terminal. Batch management. Clicking on the Batch Management quick link activates the Batch Management application. The default screen is the summary screen presenting a summary of all batches for both credit card and virtual check batches. Access credit card batch information by clicking on the Credit Card tab, and likewise the Check tab for batch information. Recurring transactions. Recurring transactions is an application used to set up payment types that are charged on a regular basis. It's possible to set up specific groups, schedules for payments, add a recurring transaction in the application itself, as well as import lists of specific transactions that you want to be recurring, whether it be for credit card or virtual check. Using the search functionality, it's possible to search specific transactions that are recurring in type. By clicking on the Recurring History button, you can actually see the history for a specific payer ID. Invoice payment and presentment. For merchants who have created connections with Sage Exchange to a supported ERP or accounting software, the Invoice Payment and Presentment application provides a way to make a connection to the customers and invoices within that software. By entering a customer name or customer ID, it's possible to search the software and pull back results for a given search criteria. It is also possible, once located, to identify a specific customer and accept a payment for that customer's account. It's also possible to click on the Open Invoices button and see all the invoices that are currently open for that specific customer. In addition to searching on specific customers, under the Invoice tab, it's possible to search on specific customer invoices as well. The results of the invoices are presented at the bottom below, and by clicking on the Accept Payment window, the user is presented with a payment screen. When clicking on the Accept Payment button, the payment screen is now populated. This is where the merchant will then accept payment against that specific invoice. Both credit card and virtual check forms of payments are accepted. The transaction is then posted directly into the accounting software that has the connection, and the invoice amount is updated. By clicking on the History tab, it's possible to see all the transactions that have been processed through the invoice payment and presentment application. Shopping cart. For those merchants who have added the shopping cart to their merchant account, it's possible now to come into Sage Exchange and use the shopping cart application to configure their shopping cart. As you can see, all the traditional controls that were in the virtual terminal previously are here. Configuration, products, shipping, sales tax, promotion, and policies are all here. Donate Now. For those merchants who are using our Donate Now product through the virtual terminal, they can now experience and the Donate Now application. Again, configuration, designation amounts, response emails, and donors can all be found in the Donate Now application. Sage Exchange, a place for every payment and every payment in its place, making payments simple. Thank you for taking this time to review our pre-release version of Sage Exchange.